Welcome to American Broadcasting Station. With just one simple click, kindly subscribe to our channel for more updates. France, Germany and the US are sending tanks and armored vehicles to Kiev. And the British seems to have lost their voice. War has a dynamic of its own, and the ability of an army to adapt quickly is at the heart of that dynamic. The First World War generals were lampooned for their lack of imagination, but it took time to transform a citizen army into an integrated all-arms force that ultimately succeeded in the 100 Days Campaign of 1918. Both Ukraine and Russia face the same challenge now. Whoever can adapt and transform their military fastest and best will prevail. For Vladimir Putin and General Sergei Surovikin, the challenge is to forge a new force capable of mounting another offensive in the spring, but they lack many of the necessary building blocks. Their conscripts have little motivation and lack low-level leadership. As bad for Surovikin is the realization that the corruption in the Russian military procurement process has spawned weapons of an inferior quality to those of NATO and the West. So how does Putin intend to win a war with weapons of low quality? For Volodymyr Zelensky and General Valery Zaluzhny, the challenge to craft the means of mounting a decisive campaign is mirrored, and the odds are in their favor, but the outcome is not a given. Yes, Ukrainians both in and out of uniform have a ferocious determination to win this war and preserve their chosen way of life, and they are receiving much Western support to do so. But not enough. Since the annexation of Crimea in 2014, Ukraine has benefited from Western training teams, notably from the UK, working with their military to begin a transformation process that has ramped up dramatically since the Russian invasion of February 24 last year. Western support, cheered by the British and largely enabled by the Americans, has provided Ukraine with the means not to lose this war. Gifted modern short-range anti-tank weapons, such as Javelin and NLAW, destroyed the initial Russian attack. The Starlink satellite system transformed Ukraine's command and control, and the HIMARS precision long-range artillery has wreaked havoc amongst the Russian logistics system. But only now is the West beginning to heed the Ukrainian pleas for an offensive capability. The French are about to provide AMX-10 light tanks, the US are donating 50 Bradley infantry fighting vehicles, and the Germans are turning over much of their fleet of Marder armored personnel carriers. And the British? The cheerleader seems to have lost her voice. So, why is the UK not matching the US, French or German offers of modern land maneuver capability? The harsh reality is that the British have little to give. The years of underfunding the British Army have come into stark focus. The CVRT series of light armored vehicles are of 1970s design and have no place on a modern maneuver battlefield, nor do the protected patrol vehicles procured for the counter-insurgency campaigns in Iraq and Afghanistan. Our Challenger main battle tanks are in dire need of an upgrade, as are our Warrior infantry fighting vehicles. However, the latter were deemed to be too expensive to upgrade, so the Warriors are being taken out of service. The Ajax medium tank does not work, and the Boxer armored personnel carriers have not been delivered. Which brings the spotlight back to the Warrior vehicles. If we are about to prematurely retire them, would it not be better to gift them to the Ukrainians? Let us at least allow Ukraine to get some value from these vehicles before we scrap them. Up to this point, we have helped prevent Ukraine losing the war against Putin. Now we must help them win it. Kindly subscribe for more updates.